day of eating video. Now, I'm also going to teach you a little bit about nutrition and the important nuances that you need to know when you are actually approaching a day of eating and whether you should do, if it fits your macros, all those different questions that often come up. It's going to go over that. So, like I said, this is my full day of eating to get lean, to get shredded. Now, if you don't want to get shredded, obviously don't watch this video. You can eat whatever you want to. And obviously you can eat whatever you want to. But if you want to get shredded, you want to get lean and you want to stay lean and you want to curb your cravings, then this is definitely for you. Nutrition is super, super important for you to lose the fat, as you can see, and keep it off. This is me in like the middle of my fitness journey, like around 210-ish and around 210-ish. And then this is me now. So keeping it off is going to be important when it comes to nutrition. So I'm going to walk you through my options for day of eating and then how to eat to lose fat. But then also, like I said, curb those cravings. A lot of us have cravings and it's because of the way we eat. It's not genetic, right? A lot of us think it's genetic. It's the way you eat and the way you structure your day. Obviously, to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. I'm going to make a video about how to gain muscle and, body recomp, but that's going to be a whole different topic. Right now, we're focusing on calorie deficit, getting lean. So obviously, you're going to want to use a nutrition calculator online or the Harris Benedict formula or the MyFitnessPal. All of those will work. Now, make sure you use a food scale to measure because a lot of times we underestimate how much carbs we're eating and we overestimate how much protein we're eating. So if we're aiming to eat 6 ounces of chicken, right, we might actually be eating less than that if we don't track it, because just eyeballing things doesn't work. You need to be exact, because when you want these results, when you want to get shredded, you have to be meticulous and track everything. You can't just kind of guesstimate, right? Fat loss is not going to occur, obviously, without a deficit. If you're not losing weight, you're either mistracking or overestimating how many calories you actually need, all right? So let me repeat that, because that's important for a lot of you guys. You aren't tracking everything if you're not losing weight, guys. If you're not losing weight, you aren't tracking everything. It could be some sour cream. It could be some queso. It could be ranch. It could be a handful of cashews that you thought was one serving that's really 3 servings. There's a lot of different things that we do throughout the day that we don't track. Could be alcohol on the weekends, all right? Now, let's go versus processed foods. Let's get into processed foods versus whole natural foods. So a lot of people ask me, like, can I eat whatever I want to as long as I'm in a deficit? Which is like kind of like if it fits your macros. And the answer is absolutely not, because it's going to affect you in more ways than you think you can, right? Or than you think, right? So ultra processed foods, they're not very satiating, right? They increase your cravings as well. The more sugar you eat, the more gummies, Skittles, muffins, cakes, oatmeal cream pies, zebra cakes, the more of that you eat, the more that you'll crave, right? A lot of that stuff is very addictive, because just think about this. If you were to eat a Reese's cup and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm full, I never want Reese's again, all those companies will go out of business. If you ate a bag of gummies and you're like, wow, I'm full for the rest of the day, I feel great, right? And you weren't addicted to it, then obviously the companies would be out of business, right? So all of these candies, all the chemicals in the candies are meant to make you addicted. They're highly addictive, right? But also they're very full of sugar. And the more sugar you eat, the more sugar you'll crave. And sugar is going to increase your inflammation, insulin resistance, right? So if you keep gaining fat over time, then your insulin resistance is going to get higher and higher and higher, which means, if you eat the same amount of calories you're eating 2 years ago, but you have more insulin resistance, now you're going to gain even more fat. Also, your body's going to lose nutrients breaking down these unnatural foods. Just think about it. Most of these unnatural foods, like if you handed like a gummy worm to like an ancestor back like 100 years ago, they'd be like, what the hell is this, right? So if you can't show your ancestors a food and they know exactly like kind of where it comes from, then you probably don't want to eat it, especially when you're trying to get lean, right? The less ingredients, the better. It's going to be better for your digestive health as well. I learned a lot of this when I was going through my gastritis journey. Obviously, I learned in nursing school, and I also learned when I was getting my personal training certification. However, I learned a lot of this through experience with gastritis and research as well, right? The more processed food you eat, the more you crave, all right? Now, whole natural foods. So natural foods are going to be more satiating. They have more fiber, they have more nutrients, and you'll feel way different when you're eating more natural foods. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more energetic. You're not going to have as much bloating. You're not going to feel sluggish, right? A lot of the probiotics that are in yogurt and other foods is really going to help with digestion, like I said, and so will fiber. Fiber, protein, and your water intake, of course, are really, really going to help with your how full you feel throughout the day and you feeling more satiated. Natural foods are going to cause less inflammation and have more nutrients, and you're going to have less cravings, right? But the more natural food you have, the more natural food you'll also crave. But as far as like cravings throughout the day, cravings for like candy, chocolate, all that stuff, it'll go away, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but it will definitely go away. A lot of my clients notice that they'll be like, I don't crave as much like candy and ice cream as I used to, you know, and it's because they're eating more natural foods and they're not bombarding themselves with those unhealthy foods, right? So natural foods, they're gonna have minimal ingredients, of course, like grass-fed beef, regular beef as well, honestly. Eggs, fruits, vegetables, sweet potatoes. Those are just a few examples. So there's a huge difference between a regular 2K calories and like from like natural foods and 2,000 calories from processed foods. It's a huge difference, right? So this is going to be my personal day of eating to get lean now. I know a lot of us think that, oh my gosh, sodium's bad. You shouldn't have sodium. Oh my gosh, this is that. And it's like, realistically, most people eat like ramen noodles and a lot of fast food. They're probably getting 10,000 milligrams of sodium a day. If you make your own food at home and you season everything, you're probably getting around the daily recommended between 2,000 and 3,000. So you're fine, especially if you're sweating and drinking a lot of water, right? Also, you want to make sure that you're actually using seasonings to make everything taste good. I use paprika, garlic powder, and cayenne pepper and sea salt in like everything. And that's why I could sustain my diet for so long. And that's why I kept the fat off for so long, right? No alcohol, that's not even negotiable. That's literally just the bare minimum if you're trying to get lean. Like when people complain about, oh my God, I can't have alcohol to get lean. You can drink alcohol, but just don't expect to get lean as well. Like it's literally the smallest sacrifice of all time. Like if you don't want to get lean, then you can drink alcohol. I'm not saying you have to quit alcohol. I'm just saying if you're trying to get lean and you can't give up alcohol, then you're not serious. All right. And then a gallon of water a day, of course. And you want to control as many variables as possible, which means eating at home as much as possible, cooking most of your meals at home as well. All right. Now, for my nutrition, I prefer less options because it's easier, but then I also really like certain foods as well, right? So these are my go-to breakfast options. And as you can see, I starred slash highlighted the one that I eat most. So as you can see, 3 whole eggs, 3 egg whites with cheddar cheese or provolone cheese or reduced fat cheese. And then I have like some blackberries, maybe with like a side of yogurt or oatmeal or something. And then also, I pretty much have eggs every morning. Eggs are super good for you. They're good. They have a lot of good cholesterol, right? I know a lot of people think eggs have bad cholesterol, but they have good cholesterol. So if you have high cholesterol and you eat a lot of eggs, your cholesterol will go down, especially if you're replacing, fried foods and things like that. Fried foods and high sugary foods, all of those things are what make your cholesterol very high, not eggs, guys. I've had a client and in 3 months, her cholesterol went way down because she was eating a lot of eggs and she cut out the fried foods. We don't realize that fried foods and lack of activity is what increases your cholesterol, not eating eggs. If you fry your eggs in like vegetable oil and then you eat fried chicken later and then you eat fries and you don't move around a lot, then yeah, your cholesterol will be high. But it's not the eggs. It's the fact that you're frying them in canola oil and you're eating all that other food and you're sedentary, okay? Now, these are my most common meals. Like I said, if I'm doing something quick on the go, I might do like a Premier protein shake or 2 scoops of protein and water with like some almonds and an apple or something like that. Pairing protein with fiber and fat keeps your blood sugar stable longer, guys. All right, next, let's see. So yeah, so these are my lunches and dinners. I pretty much keep lunch and dinner the same. I either do for my meals, I either do breakfast, 2 snacks, and dinner, or I'll do breakfast, 1 snack, lunch, and dinner, or I'll just do like if I end up fasting that day because I was so busy throughout the day, like sometimes I have like photo shoots and stuff like that. So if I'm like super busy throughout the day, I'll just like combine all the meals. So it'll be like I'll eat twice only, but I'll just combine like, a breakfast with a snack and then lunch and dinner at the same time, right? Either way, I get my calories in. That's all that matters. So for my go-to lunches, as you can see, 93.7 ground beef. Now, a lot of us get 73.27. We don't know the difference. There is a huge difference. If you're trying to get lean, 93.7 is going to have higher protein, way less fat. It's literally half the calories of 73.27. So make sure you're looking at the meats that you eat. Now, if you do get 85.15, just make sure that it fits within your calories, of course. But I prefer 93.7 because I do like to have some carbs, obviously. And yes, tortilla chips. I know you guys are gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's so bad." Now, if you have 2 servings, you're good. If you have like 10 servings, obviously you're cooked. Next, one of my favorites is definitely I had this yesterday: ground beef and 2 high fiber wraps. Then I'll probably have like a side of broccoli or something. Sweet potatoes, broccoli, and teriyaki garlic salmon. Really, really good. And it literally has every nutrient that you need: vitamin A, a lot of fiber, vitamin C, iron, a lot more fiber, and then your salmon has omega 3s, omega 6s, omega 9s, very good source of fat. And then, I'll do turkey burgers, as you can see right here. They're super juicy, they're super good. Cook it in some butter, or some olive oil, and then air fried potatoes and mixed vegetables. Another one of my favorites as well. All right, so snacks, like I said, a lot of times I'll do breakfast, two snacks, and then dinner, or I'll do just like two snacks and then dinner. Like, as long as I hit my macro goals, I hit my fiber, then I'm good to go. I really like lately I've been liking the Atkins and the Quest protein bars. I know they're pretty processed, but they're high in fiber and they work for me. So definitely find what works for you. Of course, try a lot of these out. Now I know guaranteed if you guys like follow this and you fit it within the calories, obviously you're going to lose fat. Another one is Greek yogurt with some blackberries, and then or a protein smoothie. This right here and this shirt right here is from Alpha Land. I'm not affiliated with Alpha Land, but this shirt that fits pretty good. Honestly, it's from Alpha Land, and then this was at Alpha Land. This smoothie, like I think I listen. I got right off the flight and I went straight to Alpha Land, and they had like I think it was like 300 calorie smoothie with like uh, 40 grams of protein or something like that. All right, fast food. Now, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. I know a lot of us struggle with fast food. A lot of people eat good during the week, and then on the weekends, they eat a lot of fast food, and they're like, why am I not losing weight if I'm eating good during the week? It's because the fast food literally negates all of that, guys. You have to be consistent. Consistency isn't 5 out of 7 days. No, it's 7 out of 7 days. It's every breath that you take. You got to be consistent with it. All right, so just imagine if you breathe like 5 out of 7 days. Would you be alive, bro? Probably not. Anyways, fast food tends to be, cheap, high fat meats and options. So you don't want like those cheap, high fat meats. Like I said earlier, 73-27 beef has way more calories, way more fat, and then obviously they fry it in like vegetable oil and stuff. So there's some trans fat in there too than like if you made it at home. So most restaurants also, like if you go to some restaurants and you get certain options, they're going to use more butter. Like if you make a turkey burger at home, you're going to notice that when you use like a regular bun, a whole wheat bun or something, obviously there's no butter on top. When you go to a fast food restaurant, there's going to be like a lot of butter on top, a lot of butter on the burger, a lot of butter on the bottom, and then butter on the side and butter with the bread. So it's a lot more calories. So if you do go to a fast food restaurant, what I do is I'll go to Chipotle and I'll get like a wrap, right? But instead of using their wrap, because their wrap is a little bit higher in calorie, I use a high fiber wrap at home and I'll just get rice, literally, and then double chicken. That's all I'll do, right? And I have that in my fitness pal, like the macros for that in my fitness pal, so I'll use that, and it comes out to like 510 calories or something like that, which is honestly pretty low for Chipotle because a lot of times we don't realize that the queso, if you get rice, chicken, and beans, I think that's like 490 calories, right? Versus if you get the queso, guacamole, those two together are already like 400 calories. So a lot of the sides that we put on it, the corn, the sour cream, is what adds the calories. Now, when it comes to going out, because I will do this every once in a while, like any single steakhouse, any chain restaurant like Chili's Outback, you can literally get healthy options. Like it's 2024, there's healthy options everywhere. Eating out doesn't mean eating unhealthy. If you eat out and eat unhealthy, it's because you wanted to, right? They have literally grilled shrimp, grilled chicken, sweet potatoes, veggies. They have baked potatoes. They literally have every option at every restaurant. All right, so here is the importance of food volume that I addressed a little bit earlier. So these are both 2,000. Well, these are not both 2,000 calories, but just look at what you can get for half. Whoop, just look at what you could get for half the calories, right? So this specifically is what I used to eat, which is horrible when I was like doing nursing. Right, I would have like I'd have either a frappuccino before I went in, or I would have it with breakfast at McDonald's, right? And then I would go to the gas station to put gas in the car to drive to work, and I'd usually get these two, some gummies and some Nesquik, which is insanely high in sugar, right? All of this led to inflammation, bloating, fat gain, especially abdominal fat gain, honestly. And literally, this is very low in fiber and low in protein, lower in protein than this. This right here is pretty much what I eat when I'm on 2,000 calories, to be honest. And like I said, eggs, vegetables, bacon, and then some keto bread in the morning, which is literally 400 calories. I know it looks like a lot too. It looks like way more. Like look at this 400 calories versus this. This will take me like, what, 5 minutes to drink? This will keep me full for a long period of time. And then here's a high fiber wrap. This is a large tortilla, high fiber wrap, and then 8 ounces of ground sirloin. So that's a lot of volume, and it's less calories than these two little things, right? And then Steak, right? 8 ounces of sirloin steak, and you got 6 ounces of chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, a cup of rice, cup and a half of rice, and then you also have broccoli. All of this, right, for 800 calories, and it'll keep you full for a long period of time because it's high in protein. Versus this is 2,000 calories. And then, of course, for snacks, literally a bowl full of berries and two Quest chips is 400 calories. So you could have all this food. All this will keep you more full. All this will reduce your cravings. All this is high in protein versus these options right here. So there's a huge difference. My camera keeps going in and out of focus. I'm gonna fix it for the next video. It's driving me nuts. All right. So the bottom line is sustainability is the most important factor, of course. So in order to increase, look at her admiring me. Of course, you're gonna admire this. Look at it. Look at it. But anyways, sustainability is definitely the most important factor. That's why I said it's important to have high volume, and it's important to avoid processed foods as much as possible, just because processed foods will make your cravings super high. So constantly you'll be fighting your cravings, which is going to make it way less sustainable than obviously if you don't have to fight your cravings. So if you don't like doing 3 meals, 5 meals, I mean, if you like doing 3 meals, if you like doing 5 meals, if you like doing 1 meal or 2 meals, do whatever works for you. Obviously, 1 meal, usually I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend at least, 2 meals and one snack. Honestly, that's like bare minimum I would recommend to fit your calories in. And remember, processed foods are going to reduce your sustainability as well, like I just said. All right, so like I said, nutrition is literally one of the most important things and the biggest things that my clients focus on. Honestly, as you can see, look at all these results, how everyone's getting super toned. It's because of nutrition, guys. All of this is because of nutrition, and it was sustainable for them. So if they liked like Taco Bell, if they like fries and burgers, just making more healthy versions of that at home is what really helped. And of course, good nutrition is going to be important for results. Sleep, health, recovery, and energy are all based on your nutrition. They're all going to improve with good nutrition, right? A lot of people come to me, and when they start, eating right, they're like, "Well, I have more energy. Well, I'm sleeping better. I'm recovering better." A lot of times we don't recover just because we don't have enough magnesium in our diet, but we also don't have enough protein in our diet, obviously. So a lot of times that's what it is. And of course, when you eat high protein, right, and you eat whole foods, your body composition is going to be different than if you're just eating Pop Tarts in a deficit. If you're just eating Pop Tarts and candy in a deficit, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to lose a lot of muscle and you're going to look skinny fat and you're going to feel like shit as well. Hope this video helps. Like, comment, subscribe for more. One-on-one coaching is available. Link will be in the description.